Welcome to Home Buying 101. Today we are going to talk about how you get pre-approved and how your lender determines how much you qualify for. After you've filled out the application and submitted all of your documentation to the lender, they will pull your credit. They will determine your debt to income ratio. Your debt to income ratio is truly the most important part of determining how much home you qualify for. And most people don't realize this, but you don't actually get pre-approved on a specific purchase price. You get pre-approved based on a specific monthly payment. So whatever your debt to income ratio will allow for your max monthly mortgage payment. Your debt to income ratio is your monthly gross qualifying income, and that's kind of a separate video in itself, versus your monthly minimum debt payments. Your monthly minimum debt payments include student loans, auto loans, credit cards. They also include any child support you might pay, IRS installment agreements you might pay. If you own any other properties, it'll include, of course, those mortgages, as well as the homeowner's insurance for that property taxes for that property, and the HOA fees for that property. Surprisingly, we actually don't care about any utility payments, health insurance, car insurance, monthly subscriptions that you might have, etc. If you're getting a VA loan, however, we do need to know what your monthly childcare expenses are. Now, each loan has a different max debt to income ratio allowance, but as a general rule of thumb, let's just use 50%. This means that if your gross monthly income is $10,000, you would be allowed to spend up to $5,000 on your debt payments, and your debt payments will include your new proposed house payment. So if you have a $500 a month car loan and you have a $500 a month student loan payment, that's $1,000. That means if you're allowed to spend $5,000 on your total monthly debt, deduct that $1,000, and that leaves you with $4,000 that you are allowed to spend on your monthly house payment. But that monthly house payment does include taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance if applicable, and HOA if applicable. Two things worth noting. One, your gross monthly income isn't always what you think it's going to be. Sometimes we look at a 24-month average depending on the type of pay you have. So you might actually only get to count part of what your true gross monthly income is right now. So sometimes people are like, oh, how can you let me go to a 50% debt to income ratio? Well, it's 50% oftentimes of that 24-month average. And the second thing I want to note is that if you qualify for a certain monthly payment and it is far higher than what you are comfortable spending, make sure you let your lender know, I'm only comfortable spending X, and then your lender can tell you what that would equate to. And in my next one, I'm going to dive into different types of loans and what the max debt to income ratio allowance is for them, as well as the minimum credit scores required.